These squirrels ran like mice. We're about to ruin their homes. Well, I mean, there's no nests, but yeah, their playing space is about to disappear. So we're on site here. We brought the Mini to do a little bit of stump pulling. We're taking out all of this brush you see right here. So this is actually one of Kyle's places, and if you guys have watched the channel, you may have come across my channel because of Kyle in one of the videos he made about my dumpster business. But he wants to basically turn this into a nice yard space, and it's looked pretty rough ever since he bought this property. So we're going to be pulling posts, cutting down trees, and then pulling out some of the stumps. So shouldn't be too bad, but we'll basically cut them up, burn them, and get them in nice sections so we can fit it in a dumpster. But not much to this job, just a little bit of cleanup and time. So today, since we only have a couple hours here, what we're going to do is we're going to take down anything that's not in the power lines. We're waiting to get permission to kind of drive the excavator across somebody's land here just to make some more ease of access. But then we've got some that are a little tucked into the power lines. We want to be more careful, use the excavator to pull them down in, you know, sections so that we can cut them and trim them. And there's definitely some power lines up through there. But once we get all that worked out, we're gonna pretty much drop them, use the excavator to stuff in a dumpster. You think we can get this whole thing in a 20? Pretty much. I think if we cut them up nice and neat and then smash them with the boom, we shouldn't have too much trouble. And then half of the field at the shop that I still have yet to gravel has become pretty good use. How many times have we set that thing on fire? I've had like 4 or 5 jobs.
Got like 4 or 5 fires out there.
Yeah, that we just lit all the brush that we got rid of for free. So this is gonna be one of those instances, and we're talking about making a big old fire pit. If you've done that, we're looking at like retaining walls that we can basically fence in a nice fire pit for all these brush type jobs, or just set them on fire. We're making quick progress here, so I'm having him leave me like 4 to 6 inches off of each of those branches. If that excavator doesn't get approved to go in this yard right away, I might climb it just a little bit.
Shit, yeah, I guess we get all the big stuff out of the way, just can clean up tomorrow.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought.
That's gonna break!
How's that flyer look?
Looks fine. Just drop it.
Can't push it out here. Service. Crackheads hired only. Gosh, the people in the comments are gonna light us up. Tree man does whatever a tree can. Licensed and insured. I didn't say I was licensed and insured for this. Do not do a tree service like this unless it's a buddy. Like, you should not be cutting trees this way at all. Like, no doubt. There should be safety, you should have goggles, you should have straps when you climb a tree. You really shouldn't even climb a tree that lanky, but I'm practically a monkey, so there's that. But just don't do this. This Ryobi actually isn't that bad of a saw. I like this saw for when I climb trees because I can easily go ahead and cut them down. But once it runs out of like oil or it's low on oil, it's like using a butter knife, and I honestly need another chain on here. I did another tree job for my dad recently, which was an absolute nightmare. It was one of those where I looked at it, I said, yeah, we can knock this out. Got this, Dad. And I whipped out some old tree climbers. When I say old tree climbers, I mean older than my dad tree climbers. And I wrapped these things up, literally used a bungee cord to hold them tight to my leg. Didn't have boots on. I was literally wearing moccasins. Climb up this tree like a monkey with a ratchet strap around my waist, cutting down the tree. I might clip the thing in here, but what ends up happening is I don't cut it far enough, and the chainsaw actually comes back at me, which kind of surprised me. I'm like, I'm done. This is such an awkward position. I don't like being up here. My feet hurt the way I'm in these tree climbers. So what I end up doing after that is I end up throwing up a ratchet strap and a hoist or a hook to a winch to my brother's Jeep, and we tried to pull it down with the Jeep. I must have been like 2 inches short because we're pulling against my cut, so it would not budge, it would not break, and it was so aggravating. And here's the problem: it's now leaning over my parents' house and it's dark, so now I have to climb it in the dark so that we can get it recut partway in the dark with only a floodlight, so we can cut it just enough that we can take that winch on the Jeep and pull the branch, I mean it was a huge portion of the tree, away from the house. It then didn't seem to work, so then my brother literally leaves his Jeep in park with the winch hooked up. I mean, this was the most redneck thing you've ever seen. We weren't tree people. I'm not a tree person. I mean, there's no doubt about it. We get rid of trees. We, do stuff like this, brush removal. But I don't cut down trees. And I did this, and I shouldn't have. But then we're standing there all complaining about how we couldn't get it. We'll come back tomorrow. And I don't want to come back tomorrow because I don't want to climb this tree again. And all of a sudden, the tree starts cracking. And my brother runs into his Jeep, puts it in drive, puts it in reverse, pulls it back just a hair more, and this thing comes crashing down. So a very lucky thing that it happened then. It wasn't in the middle of the night where it could have like snapped back and come on the house. Hire professionals to do tree work. That's all there is to it, especially large tree work out like this. You can always find a buddy to do brush, but big trees, you really need to have taken care of by a professional. All right, Kyle has very beautiful grass, so we always want to make sure we take care of it. So we're picking this stuff up in case it rains. We don't want that sitting here. All this will basically get reseeded, so it's okay to kind of sit in this area. And they are hiring a tree guy to take care of this one, or the neighbor is, so doesn't mind if that grass gets a little messed up. But honestly, we're gonna wait for the excavator for this tree. It's now pretty much done. We can chop that down. It's out of all the power lines, and move our way over here. Might have to be a little choosy with this one because there's power lines everywhere. Might have to be a little bit more careful. Might wait for the excavator on that, but we can get all this cleared out. Tomorrow we'll back that dumpster up right there, pick up all these branches with the excavator, smash it in there, and then start pulling stumps.
I see that. That worked good.
That fish was still going.
Crackhead tree service.
Jackass, take one.
Yeah, we're good. Jackass 4.0. Oh, it's sitting on a golf cart. Now that it's out of that, I should be able to grab it, right? Pull back.
I assume. What a monkey.
Keep going. Go slowly pulling. Just let it slowly pull. It's about to come. I can see all the ground surrounding.
So at the end of the day, we probably should have got a 20-yard dumpster instead of a 14, but I think we can run some yellow straps over this, fold these pieces over, and at least make it legit enough to get down the road. So life doesn't always go as planned. My daughter's babysitter was sick today, and with me being a business owner, I have the flexible schedule and can leave work to go get her. But we'll see what we have left. I might actually get in this Mini and take care of what we have, because Keegan already ran everything off to the shop to burn. It's not like I have trees that can come back into the cab, so nothing dangerous. There's just a little bit of brush and grading I'd like to do over here, so she might go along for a ride. She's knocked out asleep. This is perfect. All right, there she is. Thing did some work, easy work. Basically gonna come in later, scoop up this last little stack of just trash and roots right here, back the trailer in, get a rake out here, get some of the other stuff, but then that's about it. Try to do the least amount of damage to the yard as possible, but I think it turned out. All right, there's the last of it. Look at that, taken care of. Do love these yellow bags, man. They really come in handy when you're doing like a junk removal job. We rent these out, you know, to people for their own trash, but they come in handy when, you know, you don't need a dumpster, or we're just gonna top off a dumpster as it comes back that isn't full. So these things are awesome. Hope you liked our crackhead tree service video here. Go ahead and light us up in the comments, because it's basically a tutorial on how not to do brush clearing, but I mean, you can get away with it. It's just not recommended. Hope you guys decide to follow, like, and subscribe. Catch you next time.